Hey guys, welcome here. If you're new, if you guys are watching this later and you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button down there. I'd really appreciate it. Today, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be we're doing like a barbecue dinner tonight at a friend's house. And usually I just volunteer to prep stuff. I mean, that way I know kind of what we're making and I know there's going to be some options for me. So I decided to do it myself. So I'm doing, like I said in the description, a non-keto, just regular red potato salad. This is something we make at a restaurant all the time, and something that's very popular during summertime, which is when we're the busiest. So I'm just dicing up these red potatoes. I got a pot of cold water going here. And if you guys don't know how to do this, I try to just make sure you get like same size pieces, and you want them bite size. So I usually take off like a little part of it. I'll cut this in half, cut that down there, that down there. You kind of get all similar chunks. This is 2 chunks here. You want them kind of all the same size because otherwise they're not going to cook evenly, and then you're going to have some mushy ones and some hard ones still. Now, normally at work, we have a great thing called a steamer. If I'm ever rich and I can build my own kitchen, I want a steamer. Literally, it's so easy to just throw like frozen pasta in. You can throw potatoes in. You can throw eggs. You do hard-boiled eggs. Just steam them in the steamer. It's freaking awesome. I love it. Makes work a lot easier, that's for sure. When it goes down, we're all just going crazy, not knowing what we should do next kind of deal. We're so reliant on it. If you guys are joining me here, please let me know where you're from. Oop, my pop-out's gone. Can't see my chat. Where's the chat? There it is. Every time there we go. Gotta just click that. So let me know where you're watching from. If you guys are eating lunch, this is I was thinking about all those other YouTubers that do keto channels, and they do a lot of what I eat in a day, but that's really hard for me to do because literally right now I'm working 6 days a week. So Monday is my only day off. So that's the only day I really eat at home. And a lot of times we eat other places, because it's our only day. And a lot of times it's just leftovers from work. So today, literally, I had lettuce that was going bad, so I had to eat it. So I asked my boyfriend, you want salad? And we had steak left over from work. I cut some steak up and had that on top of a salad. And then I literally went shopping today just for ingredients for tonight's dinner because it's getting to that point in the season where I'm not home ever. So all the produce I buy is just going to go bad. So I just have to shop as I need it kind of deal. So I'm not going to I bought a big bag of red potatoes because they had either a huge bag or a tiny bag. So I bought a big bag, but I don't think I'm going to do it all. I think there's only 2, 4, 5, maybe 5 of us, maybe more. So, but they can always keep the leftovers. It's fine with me because I'm not eating it. But this is a recipe that I make at work all the time. I mean, this is what I did. I mean, even at the job before this job. And all it is a little bit of mayo, actually a lot of mayo, more mayo than anything. Squeeze of mustard, a splash of vinegar, some onion and garlic powder, salt, pepper. That's my basic potato salad. I'm jazzing it up a little bit today just because I felt like it. And, people like eating things that are special and good. So I bought some bacon bits, which I've been debating on getting for a while because it's kind of a nice thing to add to stuff. And I know my boyfriend likes fresh dill. So I thought maybe I'd throw some fresh dill in there too. Oh, and celery and onion, which I never keep celery either. I very rarely use it for anything because especially when I'm working all the time. But it's only $1.50, so I guess couldn't really go wrong with that. So I think that's enough potatoes. I'm going to pop these on the stove and boil them. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to salt the water. Like I said, I just had leftovers from work. We had steak. The thing with steak, we bring it home quite a bit, but it's already cooked. So you guys are probably wondering, what is the best way to reheat steaks? I know some of you have probably taken it home from your dinners and you're like, it never tastes as good, which is very true, which is why I always either eat it cold on a salad like I did today, or I'll cut it into small pieces and make it into another dish. So a lot of times I'll make beef stroganoff because you're just sauteing it up, making like a beef gravy, which is really good, doing some keto pasta or regular pasta with it, and a little bit of sour cream. There's your stroganoff. Or one of my go-tos, me and Adam always enjoy tacos. So we'll always take leftover meat, chicken, anything. And if it's already cooked, you chop it up real small, you put some taco seasoning on it, and you're good to go. It also helps use up our lettuce and tomato that we buy and avocados that tend to go bad on us. So I'm going to put a colander in the sink for the potatoes. I think while that's going, because we need the potatoes to cool down and everything before we even make the salad. So another thing that I picked up at Walmart today, which I'm always looking for deals. So I was going to buy a big pack of chicken thighs. It was like $7 for 5 pounds. I found the same company, No Antibiotics, 10 pounds of quarters, chicken quarters, so thighs and legs, for $4.50. There was no way I could pass that up. I mean, $7 for 5 pounds or $4.50 for 10 pounds. So I decided, of course, I'm making more work for myself, as always, but I'm going to cut these down so that we have separate thighs and legs. And if any of you guys are not from around Buffalo, we're going to be doing some chevettas on there. And that's fine. Come on up. I mean, what are we going to do? I'm not going to stop recording. He's bringing up our van fridge because we're packing up all this stuff to go to our friend's house. The Snowmaster. But chevettas, I was really surprised to read that there's no sugar as an ingredient. I was really surprised. So it says 1 carb per 1 tablespoon, which basically is probably just from the garlic. So it's not bad at all. It's less than a tablespoon of barbecue sauce, which is what I was going to do. I was going to do like a barbecue rub on mine just because I thought chevettas was super sugary. It's not. So I would have had to eat barbecue sauce that has 1 or 2 grams per 2 tablespoons. So pretty much the same dealio with that. And I don't have to make 2 separate chickens, which is what I tend to do a lot. Like I'm doing the potato salad and I'm making a pasta salad for myself with the Hearts of Palm pasta that I buy online. Super good, and it takes on whatever flavor you put on it, so it's perfect. So I'm going to get this open. I don't know if it's going to stay open while I try and cut these chicken quarters up. I don't think it is. Just got to slip them in, I guess. What can I use? Where's this? There we go. Ingenuity. Keep open the bag with a small cutting board or plate or something. That way I don't get chicken guts like all over the outside of the bag. That's the worst. So we got this big bag of chicken. I don't know if I'm going to marinate all this. I might vacuum seal and freeze some. Because it is a lot of chicken for 5 people. Of course, there might be more people there. So I'm going to overestimate rather than underestimate. You never want to run out of food, which never happens when I bring food to a party. Never. Okay. So we got that open. Hopefully I'll stand up there. So I wanted to show you guys how to separate these. So if you ever have a deal like this and you only want thighs for something or you only want drums for something, you score the skin all the way around the drum, pop the socket out right there, and you can see it came right out. And then you just cut right down there. There you go. There's your thigh and your leg. Motorcycle. Woo! If you're new here, you're joining me, let me know where you're from. Anything you want to know about me. We're just breaking down some chicken thighs and legs. So again, you just take it, you score the skin, because you can't see anything through this, thick skin you got here. And of course, it'd be way easier if my knife was sharp. No, it's not. Keep saying I'm going to sharpen them, but never get around to it. So back to what I eat in a day. Like I said, I can never do it at work. Literally, I'm at work 6 to 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. So most of the time, for work purposes, I always bring a shake as like a backup. I like the keto chow shakes. Chocolate peanut butter one's delicious, of course, because it's the one with the most carbs. But it's only 2.5 carbs, and then whatever heavy cream you add to it. But I always have that in the fridge in case I really want, I'm really craving something and I don't have time to cook myself a chicken breast or snack on bacon, or, I'll have it in the refrigerator just to have real quick. And a lot of times I don't eat before I go to work. So I don't get out of work until sometimes 10 o'clock. By the time we sit down, it's 10:30. So I eat real late, obviously. I get up at 9 o'clock. I have my coffee that's usually black. I just sweeten it with a little stevia. And I go into work, depending, sometimes noon, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Sometimes I'll have a snack or a breakfast if I'm trying out a recipe. But a lot of times I don't eat before work. And then I'll eat something there, some kind of meat, hot dog, burger, chicken, turkey, something like that. And then I always have my shake to fall back on if I don't have time to eat. And I usually have a snack when I get home of some kind, usually one of my desserts I make, or like a bag of Quest chips, which aren't the best for you, but I have a weakness for like Doritos and stuff, so Quest chips are better than grabbing a whole bag of Doritos. That is a big piece of skin and cartilage. Any of this stuff you want to trim off too. It's always good to keep this stuff to make like bone broth, stuff like that. A lot of times I buy the bone in, skin on thighs, and I'll remove the bone. Keep the bone in my freezer in a bag and wait for when I have time to make bone broth. I probably won't have time again until fall hits. So they're just stacking up in there right now. It's always a good thing to do. You don't want to really throw out any of your scraps because it's all flavorful stuff. You're paying for it. Oh, these are some big thighs. They have a lot of skin on them too. I haven't been keeping track of how many pieces I have. Probably do maybe 2 more, and then I'll get the rest in a bag. And I'll vacuum seal those later. Get on to making the dressing for the potato salad. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do for my pasta salad. I really don't have a plan. I'm kind of debating on if I want to do like a vinaigrette kind of salad or if I want to do like a mayo type salad. I'm not the biggest fan of mayo. I just started eating it like recently. Pretty much when I got on keto, I started eating tuna, which is something that I never really ate before. And you need mayo with tuna. So I literally just started eating mayo. kind of weird. The keto diet, I mentioned this on the last live stream, that keto has made me try a lot of new stuff, like cauliflower. I eat Brussels sprouts, but now I eat them a lot more. Mayo, I never used to eat tuna. So it really opens your horizons, gets you out of the box. Because you don't want to just eat bacon, eggs, and avocado every day, which is another thing, avocado. I never ate avocados either. And I just started eating those pretty much when I went on keto because they're a really good source of fat. So I think that's good for our marinade. I'm going to wash my hands up real quick. Well, the funny thing is, the person's house that we're going to actually just raised meat chickens and has a bunch of chickens in his freezer, but he forgot to pull some out today, which is why we were in the mood for chicken, but he probably doesn't want chicken, so he actually has hot dogs too. So it's another reason I'm stopping here. I think we should be good on how much chicken we got. I'm going to grab my baggie out of the freezer if I can find it real quick to put those scraps into. There it is. And I gotta wash off my board so we can get cutting some veggies. Oh yeah, last time my little baggie broke, so now it's in a big bag. Then I'm debating on if I want to make something for like a dessert. I always bring a dessert and no one ever eats it but me. But that's who I am. I love dessert. So I do have strawberries. So I was thinking I could make like just a flavored whipped cream or something to go with the strawberries. Automatic grinder. Oopsies. I guess since we're bringing our fridge, which actually holds quite a bit, I could make really whatever, and it's not just going to go bad or anything. We'll just bring it home with us. Okay, so our chicken's all set here. I think that should be good. Should we weigh it? See how much this is? Probably about half the bag, I'd say. So 5 pounds, so a pound a person should be plenty. Let's see. 6 1/2. So that should be plenty. So the ciabattas, nice thing about it is it's just you shake it and you pour it on. And I said, if you can't find this in your stores, see if you can get it online because it is delicious. It's definitely a Buffalo thing. We have ciabatta stands all over the place. It is very popular here over summer. You can smell it cooking everywhere. Oh, I'm out of... Wash this off from my salad earlier. That'd be nice. So we can put this whole thing. We don't have to worry about fitting this into one of our coolers. We can just put it in the big Snowmaster refrigerator. And one of the main reasons we're going over to this person's house, it's my boyfriend's friend Joe. We're working on a van conversion to go camping in. And Joe, his friend, is kind of like an electrician. And we have lights and the fridge and a heater and the max air fan to hook up, which they've been installed for almost a year and they haven't been hooked up. So he's going to be doing that today, which is exciting. So maybe we'll have a fridge and a heater and a fan going now. So maybe I can go and cook in our van at some point, which that might be another direction of this whole channel. We'll see. But that'd be cool to be able to cook some keto desserts in a van on the road, you know, sometime in the future. My knife is really dinged up. Yeah, so this would be nice to put this chicken right into there. Okay, now to get started on, we'll do the potato salad first. Still isn't boiling. I could pop some of this water out of it. It's too much for my biggest candle pot, so I had to put it in my big crock pot. Like if you watched my cauliflower last week, I should have done that because I had to do 2 batches. I didn't want to do that this time. So I got the big pot out, but definitely did not need all that water in there. If you're joining me here, let me know where you're watching from. If there's anything you want to know, what we're making today, what I'm eating today, what I eat in a day. So right now we are getting started on a non-keto red potato salad because I am cooking for my boyfriend's friends. Nobody's keto there. So, I mean, they do eat relatively healthy, some of them, but I am just going to make a traditional red potato, celery, onion, mayo, mustard, a little bit of vinegar, salt, pepper, garlic, and that's it. And the red potatoes. I need an onion. Oh. Like I said, this is something I make in the restaurant all the time. Many of my restaurants, potato salad was one of the staple things on the banquet menu, which is one of the things I've done for years is preparing food for banquets. So we always do big batches of potato salad at all of my different restaurants I've worked at. So it makes celery easier to work with. You cut it into small pieces. You can give this a rinse. It doesn't look too dirty though. And I usually cut it 2 or 3 times depending on how thick your stalk is. And then you gather them all together. You do a rocking motion. This is one of the first things I did in culinary class in high school, actually. I don't know if it's called Potter Road. It's like a BOCES program. So I did culinary in high school, and then I took pretty much like every elective cooking class I had room for in my schedule. And then I actually went to college for pastry school. But it was kind of nice because I was able to skip my knife skills class because I had the certification from the BOCES program. So, and this has been, I mean, like I said, anybody who's new, who's watching, I've been in the industry for 17 years now. I started as a line cook at Bob Evans at 16, I was so happy I was making $5.75 an hour when minimum wage was $5.25. So any of you youngins are watching my channel, just imagine that. Now the minimum wage is what, 11? It's crazy. Only 17 years ago. We're just gonna chop up some celery, chop up some onion, and that's really the only hard part of this besides cutting and boiling the potatoes. Everything else is just I use dry seasonings and then the mayo, mustard, and vinegar. So I'm really bummed. I usually use red wine vinegar at work. And I'm like, you know what? I never have red wine vinegar at home, so I'm going to pick up a bottle. It's good for stuff like this and dressings and all that. And Walmart did not have one bottle. I couldn't believe it. They had tons of balsamics, big jugs of white and apple cider, but no red wine vinegar. So I think I'm actually going to use apple cider in this. I think that would be the most flavorful. Like white vinegar is just kind of boring. It doesn't really bring much to the party, flavor-wise. And when you're using ingredients, you want to think about what flavors you're going for and, something that'll add flavor, not just be a one note kind of thing. So I think that's plenty. We did about that much celery. You want to do pretty much equal parts celery and onion. And I never really measure anything. It's kind of the thing with cooking. That's why I love baking, but there's a science to baking. And that's why I got to make those videos And it takes time to edit and all that stuff because it's all technical stuff. If you have one ingredient wrong or mismeasured, the whole recipe is done. In cooking, you can really add as you go, mix things up, do what you want. There's really no wrong thing to do except for maybe like adding too much sugar to something or adding too much salt or sugar instead of salt, things like that. But like ingredients like celery, onion, mayo, mustard, if you don't want a super strong mustard flavor, don't add a lot of mustard. It's very customizable. It's a lot different than baking. Although the next recipe I actually have coming out hopefully Friday if I can get to it. That's another reason I can't do a day of eating, because if I did a day of eating, it'd be Monday. So I'd have to film all day Monday. There'd be no way I can edit 2 videos to get them out like on a relatively good schedule because I'm working so much. So that's another reason why I don't do like a vlogging video. But because of the pastry videos take so much time and planning and testing recipes that I literally just have time to test a recipe, shoot the video, and then have just enough time to write the recipe, do the macros, and do all the editing, post it in time for 1 week. So far so good. I'm able to do it with like a day to spare, which I hate being under deadlines and I hate like being last minute. So that's really where I want to be. So I'm glad it's still working out. As the country opens up more and we have less restrictions on our restaurant, it may become harder. We're probably going to be open 7 days a week. And I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be. I might be working 10, 12-hour days, 6 days a week. I'm hoping to be able to keep up with the schedule. I have some like banked recipes that like I kind of figured out over quarantine that I can, do in a pinch if I need to. But I really want to try to keep making new recipes as long as I can. So this is not really a traditional way most people cut onions. Most people say keep the root end on. I do everything the most efficient way possible in a restaurant because I have to have things done real quick. I mean, one of the things is, being quick at prepping. And to me, I cut the ends, cut in half, peel, chop, 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 chop this way, hold it, chop, 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 chop that way. So this is kind of like the restaurant quick way to do things. But most people would, leave the root end on, do the shallow slits in it, and then do this way too, and then down. But this is how I do it every day. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about the fact that I'm probably cutting this way different than anybody else cuts onions. But that's how I chop stuff quick. And usually I just have a whole board full of chopped onions if I need them for something. Or I make French onion soup where I have to cut, I got a sliver slice, 12 onions, and I can't spend over an hour, slicing onions. The soup's got to be on the stove in, 20, 30 minutes and going so that it can be cooked and ready to go. So there are onion, celery. I usually just make the dressing in the bowl and then toss the potatoes in it. At least that's what I do at work. I haven't actually made potato salad at home. I don't think ever. No, I don't think I ever have. Because it's not one of my favorite things to eat even. So it doesn't really bother me that I'm making this for other people and it's not keto. I'm not like tempted to eat it or anything. So that's kind of why I picked that. Pasta salad is a little bit different. I love pasta. Even pasta salad with mayo isn't my favorite. So that's probably why I'm going to do like an olive oil. I think I'm going to heat up an olive oil, garlic oil. And I don't know. I got green beans from my garden. So I'm going to blanch those off. I might add those. Salt, pepper, and some onion flakes and just mix it up. Maybe like a little splash of vinegar. Doing like a little vinaigrette kind of thing. Italian pasta salad. think that's probably what I'll end up doing. Get out the mayo. Oof, we got so much crap in here. Speaking of shakes, I still have my shake from the other day. A lot of times I don't drink my shake at work. And I'll bring it home and I'll just drink it like the next day or something. Another thing, if you are not from Buffalo, is Weber's horseradish mustard. And that's something that everybody here knows about and loves. So I'm going to add that to this. I'm not a fan of horseradish, but I know my boyfriend is. And he likes spicy things. He'll probably add hot sauce to his potatoes too. But he'll do that later. I see people are here. If you want to say hi, let me know what you want to ask me. If there's any questions you have. We're making some potato salad that is not keto. I'm cooking for my boyfriend and his friends. We're adding just regular mayo. We do have avocado mayo in there, but I know most people prefer not avocado. So using regular. And the Weber's mustard. Just a splash of this. Usually I only need like a tablespoon or so of mustard. It's pretty like strong flavor. So you don't want it to overpower everything else in the salad. Oh no, mustard on me. Disaster. Hate mustard. Gross, gross, gross. Yes, I am a chef, but I much prefer pastries to actual food. I don't like mustard, not a huge fan of celery, not a huge fan of mayo. Mayo I've come to tolerate because I eat tuna on keto and need something to put it in. But I like flavored mayos, aiolis, you know? These are almost there. I'm going to get a fork out to test them. That's the best way to make sure they're cooked enough. Is if they go in really easy and drop off your fork really easy. Okay, so I have a tiny bit of mustard and mayo. And I got more mayo than mustard in there. So I'm making this a little bit jazzed up and put some bacon bits in it. Bacon and potatoes go well together, so. Bacon, horseradish mustard, some cheddar cheese. I always do garlic powder. I put garlic in everything. It's the Italian in me, for sure. Definitely going to need salt. I'm going to do some Himalayan pink sea salt. Did I salt my water? I don't remember. I don't think I did. Definitely want to salt your potatoes. I was listening for it to come to a boil, and then I forgot about it. Some pepper. I think I'm going to add some cheddar cheese, too. So it's kind of a cross between another kind of potato salad I make for my current job is a loaded potato salad with like sour cream, mayo, cheddar, green onions, and bacon. So it's kind of a cross between both of those. I'm sure it's going to be tasty either way. And then I got some fresh dill because my boyfriend loves dill. And I saw it at the store and I'm like, why not? We never get fresh herbs because we work so much. Me and my boyfriend actually work together at the same place. So we're together all the time. And then we both bring home leftovers from work, and that's what we eat on our one day off a week. So like I said, I went grocery shopping specifically for these ingredients because I'm not home all week, and we tend to have stuff go bad on us if we buy fresh produce. So today I literally just ate a salad with some leftover steak from work on top of it. Because we had to use up our lettuce. It was going bad. I had to literally pick off all the brown, icky parts and use what we could. I'm going to test these. They're almost there. They didn't go in. They fell off easily, but they didn't go in smooth. So that's what you want. So I got everything in here except for the dill and the vinegar. I might actually wait to put the dill in because that's one thing I really, really, really don't like. So I'll be willing to taste this for seasoning, even though I don't like mustard and all that. But you need to know. We have like no silverware left. The person's house who we're going to, we brought a bunch of spoons to the last time we did a cookout because they didn't have like disposable silverware. We're out too. So we brought a bunch of our spoons and then we left kind of in a hurry and they were all dirty, so we didn't pack them up. And they're still there, so we're like out of spoons. So a splash of vinegar. So I'm going to use apple cider. I have a tiny bit of this left with the mother in it. And that kind of just makes it a little bit more saucy too. And it balances the sweet. I don't have much sweet in here. Normally, I feel like I used to add sugar to this. I don't know. It's been a long time since I made just the traditional potato salad. Definitely going to need more mayo in here. But otherwise, it's tasting pretty good. Like I said, in the restaurant industry, we eyeball everything. And you just add and taste. And cooking is very customizable. Oh, and I was saying about my new video coming out. It actually is very customizable because I got the perfect keto pancake recipe. But then I had to add on some extra flair for a special occasion, some flavored whipped cream and flavored butter. And that's where your baking or your dessert baking can be a little bit more customizable. Potatoes are super close. But I made maple bourbon whipped cream. But you can literally make any flavor whipped cream you want and make your pancakes around that. I actually got the idea from Mythical Kitchen, the GMM spinoff show. He made a White Claw pancake with like White Claw raspberry syrup, which it makes total sense. Like we can eat raspberries. We can have White Claw. You can easily make a raspberry syrup for any kind of pancakes. But my pancakes turned out perfect. Like you couldn't even tell they're keto. So there's so many things you can do with stuff like that. That's good. Might need to add more salt once we get the potatoes in there because potatoes need a lot of salt. But that tastes really good already. That's delicious. Wash my hands real quick. Close some cupboards. I'm notorious for leaving cupboards and doors open. Boyfriend gets mad at me all the time. Need some water too. It's getting warm in here with the stove boiling here. I'm going to turn the fan on. At least have it on low. It's actually, for once, not insanely hot here. We've been having close to 100-degree days the last week. And last Monday when I cooked, it was 90. Today, I think the high is only like maybe 80. But it's been crazy hot here. So it's been kind of nice being not having to cook inside because I don't have AC here. But then I'm going to put this dill in right at the end after we get the potatoes in. Then I got to get started on my non-keto or my keto pasta salad. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. But this stuff is going to have to sit aside and cool for a while, so before we add it to the dressing. You don't need it like super cold. You just don't want it piping hot. So like room temperature is like a good temperature for your potatoes to be at. Because you want it a little bit warm. It can be porous and kind of soak up the flavors a little bit. But you don't want it piping hot either. Say 30 more seconds on that. And then, so if you're joining me here, this is the pasta that I prefer now. It's Natural Heaven. and it's hearts of palm pasta. It's crazy good, and it literally just tastes like whatever you put on it, and it doesn't have the weird texture of the shirataki noodles, which I was a fan of those because I love pasta, you know? So I really wanted a pasta alternative. So I was eating the shirataki noodles like crazy, making mac and cheese and using them for stroganoff and all this other stuff. But then I was watching Flav City, Bobby Parrish, and he had this company on and had a discount code. And you get 6 boxes for $24 and it's free shipping. So, I mean, yeah, each one is $4, but this is at least 2 servings, and it's 4 carbs per serving. I think it's like 7 for the whole box. 4, it's 11 minus 5, 6. So 6 for the whole box. 6 carbs, net carbs. So this is an awesome alternative. I actually told my coworker, she's been on keto for a long time, she's never heard of it either. She took a picture of the box. I brought it in one night when I knew I'd have a little bit more time, and I made myself mac and cheese at work with this pasta. So I'm going to get this into a bowl, and I got to decide what I want to put in here. If anybody has suggestions of what I should put in here, I do want to drain a little bit of this water off. So I'm going to do that after I dump these potatoes because they should be done now. Turn that off. Should turn the fan on over here. That'd be smart. But I got a colander in my sink. I'm just going to dump these into. There you go. And a trick is to put them right back in the pot. It'll get more of the water off the potatoes. Let those chill over there for a while. Let the hot steam go up my oven there. It's so hot. Oh. I'm going to drain these noodles off. They don't come in anything but like the natural liquid that's on them. It's just hearts of palm. But it does have a little bit of liquid. Most of the time, I don't even worry about the liquid, but because I'm making like a cold pasta salad, I want the sauce to be whatever flavor I got on there. Actually, I could. Probably gonna heat up some oil and garlic. These are supposed to cook for like 5 minutes or so. They're fine to eat not cooked too, but they just get a little bit more tender when you cook them. So if I do the oil hot and mix this up, it'll give it a little bit of cooked. Still good even without it. It almost tastes like if you ever had canned artichoke hearts. That's kind of what it tastes like. It's just real neutral flavor. So I think I'm going to chop up some garlic. The refrigerator's already down to 41 degrees. You put the chicken in?
It's fast and efficient.
Yeah. I'll put the chicken in there? Here. Wash up. Make some more room on my table. You want to try a little bit of the dressing for the potato salad?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Let me know if I need anything else in it. And I didn't add the dill yet, too. I got dill in there.
Bacon, onion, vinegary. Yummy.
So you're going to have dill in there still, and then I might still add some more seasonings depending on how much the potato takes over, you know.
Okay.
But you didn't wash your... Okay, I did take the potatoes out. Woo! For a second, I thought the potatoes were still in the sink and he just washed his
Oh
hands.
my gosh.
That would be horrible.
That would not.
I would hope you would not. It doesn't need more mustard, right? It had like plenty of horseradish
That's
mustard.
perfect.
Yeah. I thought so. Okay, so now onto my. Onto mine. Let's see. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? First, I'm going to blanch my beans from my garden. I'm going to move these over. This is my power burner. I always make everything extra, which is why all these live streams are going to be long. But whatever. It's me cooking. This is what I do at home, literally. Even if I wasn't on this live stream, I would be doing this. So that's why I said, why not just pop on and do it? Because I'm going to be doing it anyways. There's 2 people. I don't know who's here, though. I asked if anybody wanted to know anything about me.
They just want to watch.
They just want to watch me cook. But, so the green beans I picked over the last 3 days. I got quite a bit already. And, man, I have so many to go. I'm going to have gallons of green beans this year. It's crazy. My tomato plants are taking over my entire garden. But I just take off the little tip that's attached to the plant itself. And that's all I do to prep them. And then for my salad, for the pasta salad, I think I'm going to just chop them into little pieces. And maybe I'll just saute those in the garlic oil and then add that to the pasta. And cool it down, and that'll be it. Add some onion flakes, salt, pepper. One of my favorite pasta dishes is the, I never know how to say it, the olio with just the garlic oil and broccoli. One thing I do miss, that's for sure. I'm definitely Italian at heart. I love pretty much, if I had to pick, like I said, I'm a very picky person, even though I'm a chef. One cuisine that I could probably eat anything you give me from, it's Italian. It's definitely, pretty much any kind of lasagna, Alfredo, blush sauce, vodka sauce, any of those things. I make them and I love them. But not no more with regular pasta. So I've got all the ends off here. So I'm going to not use all these, obviously. That's a lot of green beans to use in a salad, especially for just one person. I'm not going to use all these. So I'm actually going to blanch them in boiling salted water. And then I'm going to shock them in an ice bath to stop the cooking. That way they'll be super bright green still. And then when I pull them out, I'll lay them flat on a sheet tray, toss them in the freezer, and once they're frozen, I put them into gallon bags. So this is my first batch from my garden. I got, quite a bit of, this is only the last 3 days, and I have an insane amount growing right now that I could pick, but I'm letting them get a little bit bigger. Man, that's a lot for it's only the middle of July. And I usually get green beans until the end of August, middle of September or something like that, depending on how hot it stays. But I'm going to have a lot this year. This is the sheet tray I always use for my freezer because I have one of the bottom pull ones. And this fits on the top shelf, right underneath where the light is. And it fits right there. So I always put my vegetables on here to freeze and then put them into a gallon bag. I'm going to salt this water pretty heavily. I'm using gray Celtic sea salt. I heard it has good minerals and stuff in it for you, so that's what I use. I need a bowl to shock it. You want a bowl of ice water to shock your veggies so they don't continue to cook once you blanch them. Can't wait until all my tomato plants start, all my tomatoes start turning red. I'm going to be doing some live streams and making some tomato bisque and some homemade pomodoro sauce. One of my favorite things. I got to re-up on my my natural heaven pasta so I can make a bunch of really good pasta dishes with my homemade pasta sauce. Oh, it's going to be so good. So these beans are literally only going to take a couple of minutes. They're very like tender, small beans. So have your tongs ready and your ice bath ready. You're like 2 minutes in there. I'm going to watch the clock so I don't overcook them. And then I'm going to get myself another cutting board because I have dill on this one. And like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of dill. Put my ice bath over here. Put the celery away. So much crap everywhere. Living with a chef is nice because you get a lot of good food, but then you also have a lot of mess all the time. Because we're used to people cleaning up after ourselves. Yeah. He cleans, I cook, so he knows. He knows, but he gets yummy food all the time. So
It's a good deal.
it's a good deal, yeah.
It worked out a good deal.
I spend hours cooking, and he spends 20 minutes cleaning up after me. Yeah, I make a lot of good dishes. When I'm not working, man, I cook every night. I love it. Love coming up with new dishes, even keto or not keto, or if it is something I'm making keto, trying to make it the best way, even so that he'll enjoy it. Sometimes I do make him, regular old mac and cheese and stuff like that. But it's usually when I'm making myself something that, he probably wouldn't enjoy as much. What I usually do to test my beans, I take them and try and poke them a little bit. They're soft, so flash them in my ice bath real quick to stop the cooking, and they stay nice and green. And then when I go to cook them from frozen, they literally take 2 seconds to just defrost them. You don't really even need to cook them. It'll be really good for a cold pasta salad because they're already softened. So I'm going to need that burner now. I want to heat up some garlic. Ooh, I can pull out my mandolin. My mandolin that I haven't barely used. Oh yeah, I wanted to get a new cutting board. Mm-hmm. They only need to be in there for a couple of seconds. You just want to stop the cooking. And then you can lay them out on your sheet tray. Try to have them not touching too much because you want them kind of not in one solid block, And we're going to pop these ones in the freezer. I think I'm going to keep I don't know, maybe 10 out for my pasta salad. I really wish my broccoli was ready. I have broccoli going too. And that should be ready in the next week. I'll have a couple of heads of broccoli. But that would be really good in this pasta salad too. You can add literally anything to this pasta salad. An Italian pasta salad. My dad always adds sliced black olives. I really wish I knew what he put in it, seasoning wise. I really never got the recipe from him. I should have grabbed it at some point over these summer holidays and stuff. I don't know if this is even gonna work. I had too much stuff in my freezer. Had to put my big bowl of ice cream, which was my last video I showed, the big Pyrex bowl. Had to move that into my ice bin because I couldn't fit the sheet tray on there. Okay, I'm gonna grab another cutting board. I'm going to use this big spoon to stir my potatoes in a minute. I'm going to take these beans out and get them onto here. I'll chop those up real quick. And then we'll add those to the garlic and oil. Get rid of your ice water. your knife over. Just cutting the beans into bite-sized pieces. That'll be going in there. Yeah, I was gonna get my mandolin out. Got this from my chef as a Christmas gift for me and my boyfriend because we work at the same place, so he got us a joint gift together. Man, is it nice. We really wanted to start dehydrating, so this thing would come in great handy if we actually got onto that. We did a little bit over quarantine. Well, actually, before we even got into the whole quarantine thing, when we were out of work. We are out of work usually from February. We're usually out of work February and March. So we were already on break from work when the whole country shut down. So I was out of work February, March, April, May, and half of June. So, but in February, we did some elk jerky, which some of it turned out good and some of it not so good. But all the good is already gone, so it was pretty good. So to use this, let's see. Usually you let this hang down here, and that's your teeth. You don't want teeth for this, because I want to just do slivers of garlic. So where is my bulb of garlic? I think I threw it in here somewhere, or it fell in here. You're right on my microwave, and my produce stuff is right behind you, and all my chips and here's this one, but I could have swore I had a bulb that was already broken and open. I don't know where it went though. Right in this bin somewhere, lost in all the bags of chips. Chips and pork rinds and all the snacks. I actually get a keto crate, so I actually have a lot of little bags of snacks that I don't necessarily like. And that's why I really shouldn't get a keto crate because I'm kind of picky, so. My water's getting warm. It's been getting so hot in here. I just gotta get this bulb loose. You don't want to break them any when you're using a mandolin. Mandolin. Because you want them whole so you can slice them real nice and thin. So you just kind of put a little pressure on it, and it'll kind of loosen up the bulb a little bit so you can get the cloves out. There we go. I probably only need 2 cloves of garlic for this. Oh, I got a tiny one there. I do like fresh garlic. I do have the minced garlic in the refrigerator for in a pinch if like I said, if I'm working too much and I don't have time to go and grab fresh stuff and I want to make something on a Monday, I'll have it just in case. Fresh is usually better. Just cut the little tip off of this. Now, you can do that thing where you smash it, but that would also kind of defeat the purpose of having the mandolin out. Because, I'll show you, this is how they do it in the restaurant business when you see your pasta broccoli. The reason it's so thin is because they use one of these guys. How do they get those perfect slices? They have it on the super thin setting. Slice your garlic. Ooh. It's very, very, very sharp, though. Be very careful if you have one of these, or if you're thinking about buying one. They do come with a guard on them. You really should use it. I don't think I've ever used a guard in my life. And I've worked in a lot of kitchens with a lot of mandolins. But so you get these little slices of garlic that are they'll brown up nice and evenly. That's the thing with the pasta broccoli is people just chop it, and you tend to get different sized chunks of garlic, and they all cook at different speeds, you know? So when they do pasta broccoli in restaurants, they want it all the same size. That way you don't burn some and not cook some, you know what I mean? You always want to start with a cold pan of oil, too, for pasta broccoli. You don't want to have hot oil. You want to kind of cook it slow and let the oil infuse with the garlic. So I'm going to use, because I'm doing a cold pasta salad, I would normally, if I was doing like pasta broccoli, I'd do like a nice extra virgin olive oil. But because it's going to be cold, extra virgin olive oil like coagulates when it gets cold and it's kind of goopy. So I'm just going to use straight avocado oil for this pasta salad. And avocado oil is nice. It has like a neutral flavor. I might add just like a splash. If you add a splash of extra virgin with your avocado, it'll make it not be solid anymore. So we do that a lot in the restaurant business for like dressings and stuff. We'll do half extra virgin, half like a blended oil, which we don't get avocado oil in restaurants. Sorry if you think we do. But in the amount of stuff we make, it'd be an astronomical cost. We always get like a soybean vegetable oil blend. Which is another reason why I bring my own stuff to work a lot of times. We do have like specialty oils sometimes. And we do have extra virgin. I'm just not a huge fan of just straight extra virgin a lot. And you can't really cook an extra virgin straight because the smoke point's so low. Ugh, my fingers are all sticky from garlic now. Gotta wash my hands. They got paper stuck all over. There we go. Less sticky now. Okay, last clove, and then I'm going to get a pan on with a little bit of oil in it. Okay, so a lot of times your slivers of garlic will stick to the back of your mandolin. There's my pile of garlic cloves. Slivers. Like I said, this is a quick like dinner too. You can just put this in some olive oil, add your pasta, add a little bit of pasta water, and toss it, some salt and pepper. Easy peasy dinner. That thing is expensive. That is like a chef grade mandolin. You can buy a lot of different ones that are just as good. The thing is, I use them, you know, I would normally use them a lot if I was home cooking. But that thing will last me my entire life. And probably I could pass it down to my kids, and they can probably pass it down to their kids. That's how long those things last. I mean, they are expensive, but they last for a long time. Okay, I'm going to get a pan on. With some avocado oil in it. You want to coat the bottom of the pan pretty much. There we go. I say put it over low heat and add your garlic. This is a power burner too, so I have it like low. So then I'm just going to add the beans to that, and then salt and pepper, and then toss it into my noodles. And while that's cooking, real low and slow, I'm going to finish the potato salad. So I got my dressing here. It's all nicely melded together now, and it's nice and soupy. See? It's so hard to judge when I cook at home because, like, to me, this looks like way too much for how many potatoes I have. But when I'm at work, I usually have a bowl this big. And there's like twice as much as that, but it looks the same because it's in a smaller bowl. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's really hard for me to cook for like an in-the-middle type of people. Like I'm good at 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, and 2. So when I try to cook for like 5, 6, I tend to either make too much or not make enough, or it's usually more than I need most of the time. It's more than I need. Like I think that might be too much dressing. This much potatoes. I don't know. We're gonna go for it. It tastes good either way, right? So if it's too much dressing, the dressing at least tastes good, right? We can give that a toss, but I hear my garlic cooking already, so I want to keep this moving. Oh. I have it on. I'm going to put it even lower. Crazy how quick the stovetop is. If you guys are ever in the market for a stove and you're even the littlest bit interested in cooking, I definitely recommend a gas stove. An electric stove does not exist in a professional kitchen for a reason. These things are so much better. It's crazy. So I'm just giving this a toss. These were a little bit warm, but you do want, you can't have a little bit of warmth. You have the dressing soak up a little bit more in there. And a tip for this is you kind of want to make this a day ahead. I'd rather make it a day ahead. It has more time to meld because potatoes are kind of bland inside even. You cut them small, but the inside's still not really seasoned except for with a little bit of salt. So it gives your dressing time to penetrate your potatoes. Same thing with the pasta salad. This garlic is going to be done in probably 30 seconds. So I'm going to bite one of these potatoes to see if I need more salt, because you can try the dressing, but if you taste the potato and it isn't seasoned enough with the potato, you need more salt. And you wouldn't be able to know that unless you try it. Maybe a little bit more salt. I'm not going to finish it because I really don't want the carbs. But that's what I have to do at work. I am a chef, and I can't send out food that doesn't taste good. Or I have to try pasta to make sure it's al dente. Like, you can't just guess at all that stuff. So, I take in some carbs here and there. Like, I try to spit most of it out. I do a little taste and that's it. But it's definitely not easy doing keto and being a chef. If anybody's out there watching and has some tips or tricks for me, I'm giving tips and tricks for you, if you're not a chef. But if there is one out there, let me know how you guys do it. Did you just get out of the business? I'm hoping to do it eventually when I have kids and stuff. Just cook for my loved ones. I added a little bit more salt, but I think it was pretty good overall. I'll have my boyfriend taste test it too when he comes in. I'm going to add the dill now too. I'm going to add my beans to my garlic. Pretty sure it's just about done. Always be careful when you add anything that's wet to hot oil because it will splatter on you. Definitely never add anything. Don't accidentally get ice in your oil or anything like that. Heat those through a little bit. They're pretty much cooked though. I'm going to also add some onion flakes to my hot oil just to kind of rehydrate them a little bit. And then the only other ingredients I think I'm going to add are salt and pepper. And that will conclude our pasta salad. Of course, we have to try it. And I can try this because it's low carb. And actually, eat it and swallow it. I'm going to mix the dill into here. Hopefully my boyfriend will be coming in a minute. We can taste it. I just gave the dill a rough chop. It's one of those herbs that, it's tasty and You know, you don't need it in tiny, tiny pieces. Like rosemary is really hard. So you don't want huge chunks of rosemary. So you don't want to be like biting down on that. But dill is very delicate. So it's not like really hard and not nice to chew on, you know. You can have big pieces of dill and you're good. So these potatoes are like perfectly cooked. They're falling apart a little bit, which is kind of what you want. I was also debating on doing hard-boiled eggs, but that is even more work, so I didn't do that. But you can definitely add hard-boiled eggs to your potato salad, or even your pasta salad. That'd probably be good too. What else am I going to add to my pasta salad? Do some pepper, fresh ground, and a bunch of the Himalayan pink sea salt. Here we go. And then we're going to add our oil in there. We're going to pop it up just a tiny bit. We are almost there, though. Want to brown that garlic a tiny bit more. I got to figure out what I'm going to put this in to transport it. Probably should have. I need a smaller vessel for mine because it's not a lot. I just got new knobs on my cabinets. I'm very excited about it. It's like the final touch I needed for my kitchen. Yeah, there we go. This actually has a lid to it, so I'll be able to. I think the potato salad will fit in there. It's a pretty big batch of potato salad, but it should be good for 5 guys. Well, 4 guys and 1 girl. There we go. Oh, it's just gonna fit. Yeah. I think my garlic is just about done. I can hear it sizzling now. You don't want to take your eye off of it too long. Like 30 more seconds. I'm just going to scrape this bowl of all this delicious dressing that's at the bottom. That's actually the right amount of dressing. Like I said, I don't measure a lot. That's probably like a cup of mayo, like 2 tablespoons of mustard, 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I just usually do a splash of vinegar, a drop of mustard, and then just a bunch of salt and pepper. You always want to just salt and pepper and taste. You don't want to add too much to start out with because you can't take away salt, but you can always add salt. So you always want to just make sure you don't over salt. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. There you go. My garlic is browning. Yep. So I'll just use this to throw the lid on that, and I'll put it right into our refrigerator that we got cool in here. Horrible snow master. Now, another thing with garlic, when it's this thin, you want to pull it off the heat before it's completely brown because it will continue cooking. So it's not like super brown yet, but it's still cooking in there. And by the time it's done, it'll be nice and brown. And not burnt, which is what you want. Put this right on my pasta and give it a toss. I do have it in plastic, so I'm kind of worried on the, hitting the bottom of it too much. So I'm kind of tossing it as I go. There we go. Get all that delicious garlic in there. This will be a nice little pasta salad for my side dish. Also bought, if anybody else watching is from Buffalo, I also bought Bison Dip, which surprisingly isn't that high in carbs either, which I was excited to see. And I got my Quest chips that I can dip in it, which they're not as good as Doritos, but it's the best alternative I found for sure. That or pork rinds, which a lot of pork rinds are dirty keto. They have a lot of maltodextrin and bad oils and stuff. And give this a taste. Make sure there's enough salt in it. This is kind of a boring pasta salad. I really should add other stuff, but I'm being lazy. I already put all my work into the potato salad. That's really good still. Garlicky. I might add some Parm cheese to this. It tastes like broccoli al olio. And pasta al olio. There's no broccoli. It's really good though. And that hearts of palm pasta really doesn't taste like much. Like literally, it just tastes like delicious garlic oil pasta. And yes, I have the shitty Parm. If I went to our higher end stores a little bit more, I would definitely get the better Parm. But I shop at Walmart a lot because it's right around the corner from me. And I used to shop there mostly because they were open late. But now they're not. Still, which is crazy to me. They're still only open till 8:30. And we usually do our grocery shopping after we get out of work at like 10:30. So we've been going to Wegmans, which is like one of our higher end stores here. And it's so much more expensive. But they're open till midnight. So we can go there. But definitely Walmart is way cheaper. Like I'm trying to eat healthy, but also being still like kind of budget conscious. So like I'm buying a lot of stuff online that like I can't get at regular stores, stuff like that. But taste this one more time. That's good, and definitely it satisfies your pasta craving for sure. So, well, I think that's all we're gonna do today. Got my non-keto potato salad ready for my boyfriend and his friends. And his dad's going to be there, so that's there. I got my keto pasta salad with garlic, parm, some green beans from my garden that I blanched. So I'm going to bring that along with us. That'll be my side dish. For the Horseradish chicken that I cut my legs in quarters. Right now at Walmart, they have a 10-pound bag of legs and quarters for $4.50. Crazy. Like, and that's going to feed how many people today, which will probably have leftovers. And I have enough for like 3 more meals for me and my boyfriend. Like, that's crazy to me. But I just cut the thighs off the legs and marinated them in civettas to grill tonight at our friend's house. And I'm debating, I'll probably bring some strawberries and bring like a flavored whipped cream or something. Because I always want something sweet after I eat dinner. But other than that, and that's pretty much all I got for you today. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about things I eat in a day or any kind of cooking questions. I've pretty much done it all. Like every job I go to, I learn something new. There's always new things to learn. But if you're just starting out and you want to know something, I probably know it. So if you want to ask me a question down in the comments, let me know. And I will definitely be checking in on comments and stuff. And I'll probably be back next Monday. Not sure what time. Like I said, Monday's my only day. So I usually am doing something with somebody or, hanging out somewhere. So never know what time we're going to be on. But I would like for you guys to join me and we can chat. I can multitask. Kind of, sort of. So if I see you here next Monday, let's chat. And I will see you soon. Bye.